Hey guys, it's the Lethal Afro here, and for this week's movie review, we're doing the movie Teeth. Um, Teeth is a weird movie, so let's get started with the review. To start it off, it was directed by a man named Mitchell Lichtenstein, I think his name is, and it was also written by him. And it starred a young Jess Wexler. Yeah, that's how you pronounce the name, I think. Um, So let's start plot. Okay, let's just tell you guys the plot. The plot of this movie is that a young, well, not a young, but a high school student who doesn't really know her own body because she is one of those people that pledges their abstinence. All right, so she doesn't know her own body, I guess. Um, and over the course of the movie, she discovers that she has an adaptation downstairs that help her ward off attacks on her body by, bad men, bad people. Um, and I think you can kind of get at what I'm saying by the name of the movie. So I'm not going to go into detail, but okay, let's start off what I think of the movie. First off, it was an interesting and unique plot. I mean, I've never heard of a movie about that ever. So, and that kind of made me want to watch it a bit because I mean, you're never gonna hear about that ever again. I mean, it's an interesting and unique plot, but I think it needed more because it was. I mean, how much can you do with that? Like, maybe if she becomes a superhero, I don't know, but you know, it needed more. But it's still an interesting plot. Um, there were a couple scenes that didn't work with the movie. One that really stuck out to me was this high school sex ed scene, which it was completely not needed. Um, it should have been deleted scene if any, but that was kind of a minus for me. The acting. Okay, now the acting surrounding this movie is a hard. It was hard for me to really con- concept in my own mind, I guess you would call it. But the acting was good. I mean, the actors and the actresses were good, but I think the movie, the writer and the director had them act really. Their acting was really awkward, and I think this is what they were told, so they did a good job. But it was weird. It was really awkward, um, and you know most of the acting was really awkward, especially with the kids that were, abstinent, and every little touch they were like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" So awkward, and and I really don't think any teenager their age nowadays, maybe, but I really don't think any teenager would be that restrictive of anything. I mean, they wouldn't even make out, they wouldn't even kiss in the beginning of the movie. That's how strict they were to themselves. There's one the brother of this girl. The actor did really well portraying the badass quote unquote douchebag asshole, quote unquote. But yeah, he did a good job portraying. Uh, Another thing I didn't like was the music. It cut out and it was out of place a lot. I mean, you would hear that, the dramatic, sort of beats and da na na na, the dramatic sort of music in the weirdest places, like where there shouldn't be any dramatic, suspenseful music going on, and it cuts out. It would be just some points where it's going and it just cuts out suddenly, like doesn't even draw to a close. It just cuts out, and it didn't work. Um, for like the first quarter, 2 quarters, first half, maybe quarter of the movie, it was kind of boring. I mean, nothing was going on. Um, just really awkward acting was going on, but it was kind of boring for the first half. That was a minus for me. Okay, this one is. Did it need to be in the movie? I think it did. I think the the really sadistic scenes in the movie. She was raped or almost raped at least 4 times in the movie. So, kind of maybe too much, but it was at least one or two of them was needed in the movie. So it's kind of like, okay, maybe it was a little over the top, but it worked with the storyline, and it actually probably kind of needed those scenes. So it's kind of like a plus minus. Um, the, the part of the movie that really was just like, the parts that are supposed to be the horror parts, or the, suspenseful action kind of like, oh my god, ew, that's gross parts, were pretty funny to me. I don't know if that's me and my fucked up mind, or if it was just, if anybody really nowadays would just find that funny. I mean, it was kind of, it was so, like, my thinking what it was, it was so ridiculous that it was funny. I mean, the the concept behind this movie, it was so weird that it was funny. Um, the plot is pretty fluent for the most part. The one thing I don't understand is, how did she not know she had teeth in her vagina? Um, I don't know how you would miss that. But I guess not. Even if you weren't doing anything, it's weird. The special effects, there was little, prosthetic and makeup and special effects parts. There was not too much, but they were good. Um, the one thing that was weird is, it's an awkward movie to watch around any friends or family, especially family. And that I like to watch movies with people when I have the choice. So I don't really like that about it. It's really awkward. There's a shitload of nudity and sex in it. Um, very large amount of it. So if that's a deter for you, yeah, this movie has a lot of it. Um, there was good foreshadowing in the first half of the movie. There was really good foreshadowing towards what was gonna happen in the later part. That was a good thing. Some funny shit happened at the end. Too. It involves a dog and a reproductive organ of some kind. And if you watch the movie, you will understand what I'm talking about. And it was hilarious when I first saw it. And the last thing I'm going to say about the movie is that the ending needed a little more. It was kind of just left you there, and it was just like, it wasn't that good of an ending. It was kind of just like blah, you know. But I think it just needed a little more. That's a minus. So that's about it, except for my rating. I gave this movie 3 out of 5 stars. There was some stuff that I didn't like about it, and there was a couple good things about it. It was hard to give it even 3, but I think that's a good, it was a good rating to give it. So yeah, um, if you see it, I'm not gonna say don't go see it. Um, you know, whatever, it's your choice. I mean, personally, if I heard this review, I would kind of be hesitant to watch it. But if you guys want to watch it, go ahead, watch it. Tell me what you think in comments, maybe. Yeah. So thanks for watching.